Poongsan Dog, North Korea's loyal national breed. Deep in the rugged Kima highlands of northern Korea, where winter winds howl through mountain passes and snow blankets the landscape for months, a remarkable breed of dog has thrived for centuries. The Poongsan, also known as Poongsan or Poongsan, stands as one of Korea's most treasured yet least known canine breeds. With its wolf-like resilience, fierce loyalty, and remarkable hunting prowess, this medium to large-sized dog represents not just a breed but a living piece of Korean heritage that has survived through dynasties, wars, and political division. Ancient origins in the mountains. The Poongsan dog's history stretches back to the 16th century during the Joseon dynasty, which ruled Korea from the 1300s to the 1800s. The breed originated in what was then called Poongsan County, now known as Kimyeongwon County, in the Gyeongsang province of modern-day North Korea. This region is characterized by harsh mountainous terrain, bitter winters, and dense forests, conditions that would forge the Poongsan into one of the most resilient hunting dogs ever developed. The exact origins of the breed remain shrouded in mystery, with various theories suggesting wolf ancestry in their bloodlines. This connection to wolves is not merely speculative. The Poongsan's behavior, appearance, and temperament all bear striking similarities to their wild relatives. The isolation of the mountain regions where they were bred allowed the Poongsan to develop into a pure and distinct breed, relatively untouched by outside influences for hundreds of years. Korean and Russian hunters prized these dogs for their extraordinary ability to hunt some of the most dangerous game in the forests. The Poongsan was specifically bred to pursue and hold large predators including bears, wild boar, and according to local legend, even tigers and panthers. While the claim that several Poongsan dogs could bring down a tiger is likely exaggerated, these stories speak to the breed's remarkable courage and tenacity that made them legendary among hunters. Physical characteristics. Built for survival. The Poongsan embodies the classic Spitz-type appearance, with features that have been honed by centuries of natural selection in one of the harshest environments on the Korean peninsula. These dogs typically stand between 50 to 60 centimeters in height and weigh between 20 to 30 kilograms, making them medium to large-sized dogs with an athletic and muscular build. The most striking feature of the Poongsan is its thick, luxurious double coat, which is typically a creamy white color. This dense fur provides exceptional insulation against the brutal winters of the Kima highlands, where temperatures can plummet far below freezing. The double coat consists of a soft, insulating undercoat protected by longer guard hairs that shed water and snow, allowing the dog to work in the most challenging weather conditions without suffering from hypothermia. The Poongsan's head is distinctly wedge-shaped, with small, dark or ash-gray eyes that convey an alert and intelligent expression. A notable characteristic is the visibly blood-filled conjunctiva, which gives the eyes a distinctive appearance. The ears are upright and can point forward or to the sides, constantly swiveling to catch the slightest sound, an essential trait for a hunting dog working in dense forest environments. The body is robust and balanced, with a broad chest that houses powerful lungs for endurance during long hunts. The legs are strong yet comparatively short, providing the dog with exceptional sure-footedness on steep mountain terrain. This lower center of gravity allows the Poongsan to navigate rocky slopes and treacherous paths with the confidence of a mountain goat. The neck is short, strong, and well-muscled, giving the dog the power needed to hold onto large, struggling prey. Perhaps one of the most distinctive features is the tail, which curls gracefully over the back in typical Spitz fashion. This tail serves multiple purposes. It helps with balance during quick directional changes while hunting, and when curled over the back during rest, it protects the dog's nose and face from freezing temperatures. Temperament. The heart of a hunter. The Poongsan's temperament is a complex blend of fierce independence, unwavering loyalty, and remarkable intelligence. These are not dogs that were bred to be docile companions. They are working animals with strong hunting instincts and a wolf-like mentality that shapes their behavior and interactions. Courage and tenacity define the Poongsan's character. When faced with danger or challenging prey, these dogs display a fearlessness that borders on reckless. What truly set them apart as exceptional hunting dogs, however, was not raw combat ability but rather their extraordinary perseverance and patience. A Poongsan would pursue prey relentlessly through difficult terrain, then possess the discipline to restrain the animal and wait, sometimes for hours, for the hunter to arrive and complete the kill. This combination of aggression when needed and control when required makes them uniquely suited for big game hunting. Despite their fierce hunting nature, Poongsan dogs can be surprisingly gentle and well-tempered with their human families. They form deep bonds with their owners and display remarkable loyalty. However, they are not overly affectionate dogs in the traditional sense. They greet family members with tail wags and occasional whining rather than exuberant jumping or excessive vocalization. In fact, Poongsan dogs rarely bark, preferring to communicate through body language and subtle vocalizations. Their wolf-like independence means they can be somewhat aloof with strangers, though not typically aggressive without cause. They are naturally wary and territorial, traits that made them valuable as property guardians in addition to their hunting duties. They tend to mind their own business when encountering unfamiliar dogs on walks, displaying confidence rather than aggression. The Poongsan's prey drive is exceptionally high, a direct result of their hunting heritage. This instinct remains strong even in dogs that have never been trained to hunt, and prospective owners must understand that small animals, from squirrels to small pets, may trigger this deeply ingrained behavior. This characteristic makes them unsuitable for households with cats, rabbits, or other small companion animals. Intelligence is another hallmark of the breed. Poongsan dogs are quick learners and can understand complex commands, but their independent nature means they don't always feel compelled to obey immediately. They think for themselves, a necessary trait for a hunting dog that might need to make split-second decisions while pursuing dangerous game far from the hunter's direct control. This independence requires an owner who understands and respects the breed's nature rather than trying to suppress it. A national treasure under political division. The Poongsan story is inextricably linked to the political history of the Korean peninsula. In 1956, North Korea officially designated the Poongsan as a national monument, recognizing the breed as an important cultural and historical treasure. This designation elevated the dog from merely a working breed to a symbol of Korean heritage and national pride. The breed's significance extends into the realm of diplomacy. On two notable occasions, North Korean leaders have presented Poongsan dogs as diplomatic gifts, using these rare and precious animals as symbols of goodwill and cultural exchange. These presentations underscore how deeply the breed is valued in North Korea and how it serves as a representation of the nation itself. However, the political division of Korea has had profound implications for the Poongsan breed. Because the breed's homeland lies entirely within North Korean territory, and because North Korea remains one of the most isolated nations on Earth, the Poongsan has become exceedingly rare outside its native region. While South Korea has the Jindo dog as its recognized national breed, the Poongsan remains largely confined to North Korea, making it one of the rarest dog breeds in the world. This isolation has both protected and endangered the breed. On one hand, the lack of crossbreeding with foreign dogs has kept the Poongsan remarkably pure, preserving characteristics that have remained largely unchanged for centuries. On the other hand, the limited gene pool and restricted breeding population raise concerns about genetic diversity and the breed's long-term viability. International recognition has proven elusive for the Poongsan. No major international kennel clubs, including the American Kennel Club, the Kennel Club of the United Kingdom, or the Fédération Cynologique Internationale, currently recognize the breed. This lack of recognition stems partly from the difficulties in studying and documenting the breed due to North Korea's isolation, and partly from the challenges in establishing breeding populations outside the country. The rarest of Korean breeds. Korea is home to three ancient native dog breeds: the Poongsan, the Sapsali, and the Jindo. Of these three, the Poongsan is by far the rarest and least known internationally. The Jindo, which originates from an island off the southern coast of South Korea, has achieved international recognition and has established breeding populations around the world. The Sapsali, a shaggy-coated breed once used for guarding and hunting, has also gained some international attention through preservation efforts. The Poongsan, by contrast, remains almost mythical outside Korea. Few examples of the breed exist beyond North Korea's borders, and those that do are predominantly in South Korea and, to a much lesser extent, in the United States and other countries where Korean immigrants have attempted to preserve the breed. This scarcity makes the Poongsan one of the most challenging dog breeds to acquire, study, or even observe. The breed's rarity has created a situation where much of the information about Poongsan dogs comes from historical accounts, limited studies, and the experiences of the few breeders who work with them. This scarcity of information makes it difficult for potential owners to fully understand what they're getting into when acquiring one of these remarkable dogs. Health and longevity. One of the most remarkable aspects of the Poongsan breed is its robust health and disease resistance. Centuries of breeding in the harsh mountain environment of northern Korea created a dog with exceptional physical resilience. The breed possesses remarkable resistance to cold temperatures, a necessity for survival in a region where winter temperatures regularly drop well below freezing. The Poongsan's disease resistance is noteworthy. Unlike many purebred dogs that suffer from numerous genetic health problems due to intensive selective breeding and limited gene pools, the Poongsan has maintained remarkable genetic vigor. This hardiness is partly due to the breed's relative isolation and the natural selection pressures of their harsh native environment, where only the strongest and healthiest dogs survive to reproduce. The typical life expectancy of a Poongsan ranges from 12 to 14 years, which is respectable for a medium to large-sized dog. With proper care, nutrition, and regular veterinary attention, some individuals may live even longer. The breed's strong constitution means they generally suffer from fewer age-related ailments than many other large breed dogs. However, like all dogs, Poongsan can benefit from regular health screenings, particularly for conditions that affect similar breeds. Hip and elbow evaluations, eye examinations, and regular wellness checks help ensure these dogs maintain their legendary vitality throughout their lives. Their thick double coat requires regular grooming, especially during shedding seasons, to prevent matting and skin issues. The breed's high endurance and energy levels mean they require substantial physical exercise to maintain optimal health. A sedentary lifestyle is incompatible with the Poongsan's nature and can lead to behavioral problems and obesity. These dogs were bred to range across miles of mountain terrain while hunting, and they retain that need for vigorous activity. Challenges of ownership. Owning a Poongsan dog is not for the casual pet owner or those seeking a docile lapdog. These animals require experienced handlers who understand and respect their independent nature, strong prey drive, and need for both physical and mental stimulation. Their wolf-like temperament means they think for themselves and may not always comply with commands if they don't see the logic in them. The high prey drive presents particular challenges. Poongsan dogs may view small animals as potential prey, making them unsuitable for homes with cats, rabbits, guinea pigs, or other small pets. Even well-socialized Poongsan dogs retain strong hunting instincts that can be triggered unexpectedly. Owners must maintain secure fencing and never allow these dogs off-leash in unfenced areas, as their hunting drive can override recall training when prey is spotted. Socialization is crucial but must be approached thoughtfully. Poongsan puppies should be exposed to various people, animals, and situations from an early age, but owners must remain vigilant about the dog's reactions and never force interactions. The breed's natural wariness means that socialization is an ongoing process throughout the dog's life, not just during puppyhood. Training requires patience, consistency, and an understanding of the breed's independent nature. Harsh training methods are counterproductive with Poongsan dogs, who respond better to positive reinforcement, and owners who earn their respect through fair, consistent leadership. These dogs need to understand the why behind commands, not just the what. The physical demands of Poongsan ownership cannot be understated. These dogs require substantial daily exercise, long walks, hiking, running, or other vigorous activities. Mental stimulation through training, puzzle toys, and work-like activities helps prevent boredom-related behavioral problems. An under-exercised Poongsan is likely to become destructive, anxious, or develop other problematic behaviors. The future of the breed. The future of the Poongsan dog remains uncertain, balanced precariously between preservation efforts and the challenges of political isolation. Within North Korea, the breed continues to exist in its homeland, though detailed information about population numbers and breeding programs remains scarce due to the country's closed nature. Outside North Korea, small populations of Poongsan dogs exist, primarily in South Korea, where breed enthusiasts and preservationists work to maintain the bloodline. These efforts face significant challenges, including limited genetic diversity, difficulty importing new dogs from North Korea, and the lack of international recognition that would help establish the breed more broadly. Some Korean expatriates in other countries, particularly in the United States, have attempted to establish Poongsan breeding programs with dogs imported before political tensions made such transfers nearly impossible. These international populations represent both hope for the breed's survival and concern about maintaining breed purity and characteristics without regular infusions of dogs from the breed's homeland. The lack of international kennel club recognition remains both an obstacle and, in some ways, a protection. Without official standards and widespread breeding, the Poongsan has been spared the fate of many popular breeds that suffer from health problems caused by breeding for appearance over function. However, recognition would bring resources, research opportunities, and broader awareness that could aid preservation efforts. Climate change and changing economic conditions in North Korea may also impact the breed's future. As traditional hunting practices decline and modernization reaches even remote mountain regions, the Poongsan's original purpose becomes less relevant. The breed's survival may depend on finding new roles for these remarkable dogs while preserving their unique characteristics and heritage. A living link to Korean heritage. The Poongsan dog represents far more than just a rare breed of canine. It is a living connection to Korea's historical relationship with the natural world, embodying centuries of adaptation to one of the harshest environments on the Korean peninsula. These dogs carry within them the genetic memory of countless hunts through snow-covered forests, the courage required to face dangerous predators, and the loyalty that bound them to their human partners. In many ways, the Poongsan story mirrors Korea's own. A proud heritage, exceptional resilience in the face of hardship, and survival through periods of tremendous upheaval and change. The breed's division between North and South, its rarity, and the challenges facing its preservation reflect broader themes in Korean history and culture. For those fortunate enough to share their lives with a Poongsan, the experience is unlike any other breed. These dogs demand respect, understanding, and commitment, but they offer in return a glimpse into the ancient partnership between humans and canines, unsoftened by centuries of breeding for appearance or docility. They remain, in essence, what all dogs once were: working partners with their own minds, their own will, and their own remarkable capabilities. As the world becomes increasingly connected and more people take interest in rare and heritage breeds, perhaps the Poongsan will find new opportunities for preservation and appreciation beyond the mountains of its birth. Whether through international breeding programs, increased recognition, or changing political circumstances that allow for greater exchange, the hope remains that this remarkable breed will continue to thrive, carrying forward its legacy for future generations to know and admire. The Poongsan dog stands as a testament to the power of natural selection, the wisdom of traditional breeding practices that prioritized function over form, and the enduring bond between humans and dogs. In a world of designer breeds and dogs bred primarily for companionship, the Poongsan reminds us of the working heritage that all dogs share and the remarkable capabilities that remain locked within their genes, waiting for the right circumstances to shine forth. North Korea's loyal national breed deserves not just to survive but to be celebrated as one of the world's most extraordinary canine treasures.